Alright, here we are on a beautiful Roanoke, Texas day. Handling several cars in the collection. Extremely nice, meticulously restored and well researched 1970 Camaro split bumper RS-Z28 Rally Sport. Walk around and tell you about it like we usually do. Resting on a six-figure restoration, like we mentioned, well researched. All numbers on this car have been gone through right down to the distributor. An extensive file documentation. It was a Muscle Car of the Year finalist. At one time, it's won awards, good guys, that type of thing. Very few miles since its restoration. Extremely well presented, show quality finishes, that type of thing you can see here. This is a reproduction window sticker with all the options on it. Here is the absolute original tank sticker, build sheet between the fuel that was located between the fuel tank and the body of the car. We have copies of all that at Spud's Garage. 350 LT1, 360 horse underneath the hood, 4-speed, has 373 posi in the rear end, all the performance package, that kind of thing. Rear stabilizer bar. These are original date coated factory 15-inch wheels with Polyglass GT Goodyear tires on it. Cortez Silver with black rally stripes, the original colors. This car is restored to original specifications. We'll get you underneath the hood and share more detail, that type of thing, but make sure you go to Spud's Garage, where we'll have a lot of history on this car. We know this car very well. We've been able to keep track of it since we sold it from the gentleman that had restored it. It's moved from one collection to another. Restoration was completed in about '09 when it won Muscle Car of the Year finalist. These cars are getting hard to find. This one has some fairly rare options on it. As we get back around to the driver's side there, I'll stop and cover some of the stuff that I may have missed during the walk around here. Beautiful car, split bumper. We'll get into build dates, that type of thing, at Spud's Garage. Professional quality restoration, six-figure. Get inside here, it has the correct original restored interior in it. RS steering wheel. It is a center console equipped car. AM radio, excuse me, I believe that's an AM FM. Z28 floor mats. There are included with it some brand new matching floor mats for the rear. They're not embroidered, but they match that set. Everything works on it. This car drives wonderfully, starts every time. Gentleman that had it restored, very meticulous. Things had to be right, and he had to win awards with them. The doors shut so easy on this car. A lot of time making sure everything was just right on it. We'll get you in the trunk. Has a full-size spare, original jack. Get back here. Has a COPO 9796 rear spoiler on it. They built less than 500 of these cars in order to meet Trans Am specs. Of course, in later years they introduced this spoiler on the car too, but this is one of the early cars where less than 500, estimated less than 500 cars were produced to meet rules. Where the spoiler, they were having handling problems where these cars were lifting, so they were trying to create some downforce on the back of the car. So if you research it, that's the COPO side of this car. The only way you could get those if they went there. And it is match up to the original build sheet of this car. We actually spoke to the gentleman that owned the car in Texas. He was like the second owner, and he had owned it many years, and we cross-verified that that is the original spoiler on the car. All that's in the history file over here. I've spent a ton of time studying this car top to bottom. I'm going over numbers myself, taking pictures of the trans stampings, castings, block, cylinder head numbers we have. We have all that stuff for you. So give us a call. There's a thumb drive in there, the file of the restoration of it. Kind of a needle in a haystack kind of car. I forgot to cover one thing. I'll walk back there and show it to you. It's Cortez Silver 1414 black vinyl interior, custom deluxe belts, which means it's got the upper ones with the shoulder restraints. Sport mirrors on it. AM FM push button radio, so it is an FM. 4-speed. Rear seat speaker, performance axle ratio, special performance group, the Z28 Rally Sport package. So back here, see the extra speaker we talked about, has the rear window defroster on it, which was a blower back in the day. Everything works on it like it was from the factory. All the seat belts. We'll hop down here. Remote mirror here. I believe this is the rear window defrost switch. AM FM radio. Console again, well restored. Trying to read the odometer. I think it reads 31,104, and that would have been over because we know the restoration was just over 100,000 miles on it, but the car has less than a few thousand miles on it since it was restored. The reverse lockout works like it's supposed to. The car is a little bit cold. We've warmed it and drove it in here, or did a turnaround, but so the choke's already kicked off, but it's idling pretty low right now, but it idles sweet. See the RS on the steering wheel. Pull some headlights on for you. Again, back, that's the original tank sticker. Sure I missed something, but Spud's Garage, you'll find a lot more. If you're looking for a uniquely rare '70Z split bumper, all correct, sweet colors. All right, we'll get you underneath the hood here. Very nice, like you expected and we talked about during the walk around. Awesome, meticulous restoration, well-researched car. I know I mentioned that during the walk around, but as far as we know, all the numbers, we've checked all the numbers on this car, and we'll have all those photographed at Spud's Garage. It's an original numbers correct block, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, 350, 360 horse, 4-barrel carb. Kind of give you a view of the level of detail, paint dabs, that type of thing. And they did research this car, and see all the markings here. Large pulley, alternator. I mean, right down to the distributor. We went through the numbers. We've had this off, the alternator out of the way, so we could get to the suffix pad on it. Factory power steering. Coolant style markings, that kind of thing. Bottom side of the hood with the insulation pad. We'll actually fire it up here for you, and make sure you watch the rest of the video to get it up on the lift. Starts right up cold. Still cold-blooded here a little bit, idle-wise. we get you in the trunk here. We took everything out for you to get a good look in the trunk. You'll see it has original wheel style full-size spare. Also even has the cover that goes over the jack here. Okay, that's a cold start this morning. That's how it starts every time. Hopefully we can take this spin and not have too much traffic. This is couldn't get out on the highway. It's just too crazy today out there. Rural route. Speed limit here is we're going through a school zone, but we want to cycle the gears for you. We're doing 20. I'm already in second gear. Doing 20. Go ahead and go to third. I am now rolling along in fourth. If you're looking for a collector car you can drive, this is definitely a very special car. Engine temp probably, I'm thinking 160, 170. Now speed limit's 30 through here. Roll along in fourth gear. 373 axle ratio. High-end car cover. That's the box that's going to have all the documents in it. There's 4 different files there. The purchase docs, original tank sticker, numbers, all that kind of thing. Research, restoration paperwork, brochures and owner guides, and eBay and NOS, NEO and NOS parts that were purchased. There's a 2009 Muscle Car Finalist of the Year. These are rear floor mats that have never been installed into it. Very professional rotisserie style restoration. Nut and bolt down to factory specification, so to speak. All the chalk marks, factory markings that would have existed on the car, and I know the full documentation of the restoration. We have all the photos of it, covered the history on this car, talked about that when we did the walk around. It has a 373 posi rear differential in it, which is factory, limited slip. All new fuel lines, again complete nut and bolt factory exhaust. Floor pans are finished in a matte finish. They're just beautiful original floor pans on this one. See all the brake lines there. There's an M20 4-speed transmission in it. All numbers are correct on this car, right down to the distributor. We've already talked about that. Forgot to mention the shocks in the rear. Has the spiral shocks in it, front and rear. Gotta get a look there. Factory disc brakes. You'll see all the paint dab markings on it. Power steering, F6015, Goodyear polyglass tires. Again, we'll have all this photos of all the components at Spud's Garage for you to study. We'll go into the date codes, all that type of thing with it. Rear stabilizer bar. Again, this has the original build sheet on it. Buck tag, whatever you'd like to call it. An extensive file of the restoration. Do a little bird's eye walk around for you here. Limited miles since the restoration. Polyglass GT F60 15s, correct wheels. See, all the rockers are original here. Spectacular finish. Correct air dam up front here. All right, there you go. Make sure you go to spudsgarage.com. Have a great day.